Alright, buckle up, Trekkies, because we're diving into something seriously cool with Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. If you've been keeping up with the show, you know it's not afraid to take risks, genre swings, bold storytelling, and now a full-on film noir episode. Yeah, you heard that right. Film noir in the Star Trek universe. Personally, I think this is a genius move. It's not just about throwing a new style at the wall to see what sticks. It's about exploring the depth and versatility of the franchise. And let's be real, Strange New Worlds has been killing it with these experimental episodes. But this one? It feels different. It feels like they're not just playing with style, they're using it to tell a story that demands this kind of treatment. The episode is called A Case of Chiaroscuro, and if you're wondering what that means, it's an art term referring to the contrast between light and dark. And that's exactly what this episode is, a visual and thematic play on shadows, mystery, and moral ambiguity. What makes this really interesting is how it aligns with the noir genre. Noir isn't just about black and white visuals, it's about the gray areas in life, the blurred lines between right and wrong. And when you drop that into the Star Trek universe, it's like mixing fire and ice. You've got this optimistic, future-forward world colliding with a genre that's all about cynicism and moral complexity. In my opinion, that tension is where the magic happens. Now, let's talk about the plot. Our badass first officer, gets mistaken for a resistance leader in a world under Klingon occupation. On paper, that sounds like your typical Star Trek adventure, right? But here's where it gets fascinating. The noir style isn't just a coat of paint. It's integral to the story. Una's journey isn't just about saving the day, it's about navigating a world where trust is a luxury, and every decision comes with a cost. What many people don't realize is that noir thrives on flawed heroes, and Una, as much as we love her, is no exception. She's not just a symbol of hope, she's a character forced to confront her own limitations and the moral compromises she has to make. That's what makes this episode feel so fresh. It's not afraid to humanize its heroes. And then there's the visual style. The black and white cinematography isn't just a gimmick, it's a character in itself. It forces you to see the world differently, to focus on the contrasts, light and dark, hope and despair, order and chaos. If you take a step back and think about it, this is Star Trek at its most experimental. They're not just telling a story, they're challenging us to see the universe in a new way. What this really suggests is that Strange New Worlds isn't content to stay in its lane. It's pushing boundaries, asking what Star Trek can be when it's not just about exploration, but about introspection. One thing that immediately stands out is the cast. Rebecca Romijn as Una? She's perfect for this. There's a weight to her performance that fits the noir tone. She's strong, but there's a vulnerability there, a sense of being out of her depth. And the rest of the crew? They're not just along for the ride. Each character feels like they've been pulled into this moral quagmire, and you can see the strain. It's not just a genre exercise, it's a character study disguised as a noir thriller. A detail I find fascinating is how the Klingon occupation serves as the perfect backdrop for this. Klingon are often portrayed as the ultimate other in Star Trek, but here, they're not just the bad guys, they're a force that exposes the cracks in our heroes' facades. This raises a deeper question. What happens when you strip away the idealism of Star Trek and force its characters to confront the messiness of reality? That's what this episode is really about. It's not just a fun detour into noir, it's a commentary on the complexities of resistance, sacrifice, and identity. From my perspective, this is Star Trek at its most thought-provoking. It's not giving us easy answers or clear-cut heroes. It's asking us to sit with the discomfort, to question our own assumptions about right and wrong. So, as we head into this episode, I'm not just excited, I'm curious. Curious to see how Strange New Worlds handles this genre mashup, curious to see how the characters evolve, and curious to see how the audience reacts. Because let's be honest, this isn't your grandma's Star Trek. It's bold, it's risky, and it's unapologetically ambitious. And that's exactly why I love it. So, what do you think? Is this the kind of experimentation Star Trek needs, or is it a step too far? Let me know in the comments, and let's keep the conversation going. Because if there's one thing this episode proves, it's that Star Trek is still capable of surprising us, and that's something worth talking about.